everybody, so I'm back again with another recap of 90 Day Fiance before the 90 days. This week's episode was just plain hilarious to me. I feel like I cracked up with laughter several times throughout the episode. And I really can't wait to talk about these couples with y'all, so I'm not going to waste any time. Let's get right into this recap. So let's start with our old couples and go ahead and get them out of the way, because the new couples were just cranking up the crazy. And honestly, so were the old couples, so we really can't go wrong starting anywhere. I'm just going to start with Paul and Karine. We pick up right where we left off last week with Paul and Karine still in the park. Karine is still upset that Paul does not trust her and thinks that she is cheating on him and has asked her for yet another pregnancy test, and Karine has told him no. Paul has run out to the local Brazilian corner store and picked up a pregnancy test for Karine and brings it back to the hotel that they're staying at. Paul proceeds to walk in. He doesn't say anything, and I don't know if Paul didn't say anything just because he can't speak Portuguese and so he felt like it would just be an ordeal. But he just throws the pregnancy test in Karine's lap like, here girl, take this pregnancy test. Karine at first acts like she's annoyed and irritated and like she's not going to do it, but then she says she's going to do it because of course she needs this ticket to America. She goes in the bathroom. Paul is looking nervous, honey. He's sweating bullets. He don't know what to do. He don't know what's going to happen when she comes out. Now, I already said last week that I think that Karine is already pregnant. I stand by my statement. I still think that Karine is already pregnant. She just looks completely different. I saw a couple people saying they didn't think she looked any different. She looks completely different. I've already described all of her physical changes that tell me that she is pregnant. And I usually can tell when somebody's pregnant, especially when they start having those typical changes like she's having. Come on, I mean, it's obvious. Karine goes in the bathroom, takes the pregnancy test. I don't know if she took it. I don't know what Karine did in that bathroom, to be honest. I feel like Karine is leveling up on her scamming, and I feel like she is taking Paul for a ride, honestly. So she goes in the bathroom. I don't know if it was editing, but she came right back out. We heard her peeing. That was probably a water sound by the producers. It was probably just some added water sounds by the producers, and she comes right back out. They might have just cut out the time because it takes like 10 minutes to wait for a pregnancy test. And so she came right back out holding this little strip. She looks terrified. She looks nervous. She looks scared. She looks sad. The first thing out of her mouth is, I'm sorry. Who takes a pregnancy test and then proceeds to tell their boyfriend, I'm sorry? Like, you sorry for what? Like, what are you sorry for? Unless you're pregnant and it's not his. She walks out like a child who just got into their mama's makeup and is about to get a whooping. And Paul's like, Nino? Nino? And Karine shakes her head, yes. Now, Paul spoke in Portuguese. He spoke her native language and said Nino, which means either child or baby. And Karine shook her head, yes. Y'all correct me if I'm crazy. I swear to God, Karine nodded her head, yes. She hands him a little strip, and apparently in Brazil, pregnancy tests look like glucose tests. I don't know what that was, but she hands him the strip, and he's like looking at it like, I don't know what this means, girl. Is it a baby or a no? Paul is confused. Karine looking scared. I'm confused because she just said, yes, she's pregnant. And then Paul says, not my Nino, and Karine shakes her head, no. And then there's like a long pause, and Paul's like rubbing his head and looking nervous. And then all of a sudden, Karine's like, I'm not pregnant, ha ha. And I'm like, what just happened? Was this a practical joke? What? That was the weirdest, you are not the father, you are possibly the father scene I've ever seen. And I need Mari right now to come clear this up for me. She is pregnant, clearly. I think that Karine went in there, maybe took the test. Okay, there's two things that possibly happened here. Karine took the pregnancy test. The test said that she was pregnant. She initially was nervous that Paul was going to be pissed that he found out she was pregnant and the baby's not his. That's why she came out looking scared and nervous at first and shaking her head yes when he said Nino. And then when he said not my Nino, she said no. Second option is that Karine didn't take the test. She probably ran the test, ran the water, and didn't even take it. Ran some water under it or something, I don't know. And came out and tried to play a joke on Paul. But Paul clearly didn't know how to interpret the test because he was looking at it, waiting for her to tell him. And that's why he asked, baby? And she said yes. And Paul was nervous for like 20 seconds because she said it's not his, and he was having flashbacks to when his ex-girlfriend cheated on him and got pregnant by somebody else. I don't know why she said, yes, there's a baby, no, it's not yours, and then was like, I'm not pregnant, and then picks up the phone's translator, and the translator says, I'm not pregnant. I think that Karine pulled a fast one on Paul. Honestly, y'all, I think that initially she saw that she was pregnant. She was worried that he was going to know. She's clearly pregnant. They show her from the side. Her stomach is already starting to poke out. Karine did not have a stomach last season. Karine was slender. I'm telling y'all, Karine was a slender girl with a flat stomach. She did not have a gut, a pouch, or nothing. I mean, I saw the girl in a bikini. She did not have a gut like that. Her little stomach is already starting to poke out. So I think that she was nervous that the jig was about to be up, but then she saw that Paul's an idiot and that he didn't even know what the test was saying. So she was like, oh, okay, I can just twist this to be whatever I want the results to be. So she twisted it right at the end and was like, oh, I'm not pregnant. I was just playing with you. That doesn't make any sense at all. This is not the time to be playing jokes, Karine. This is like, are you cheating on your boyfriend and are you pregnant with another man's baby? This is not the time to play a practical joke. You think you Ashton Kutcher? Like, stop. Like, this is serious. Like, be serious. Like, either say yes you are or no you aren't. That was the weirdest thing for me. And I feel like Paul is just so hung up on having this Brazilian wife and being married that he just looked past the strangeness of it all. It didn't make any sense. I don't know what these two are doing, but I feel like Karine is pulling a fast one on Paul. I feel like what she's going to do now is they're going to hurry up and start having sex probably every night, and she's going to try to pass this baby off his paws and hope he doesn't line the dates up. She might lie to him and tell him that the baby's premature when it's born 3 months early or 2 months early. I don't know. But I don't trust Karine. I think she was lying. I don't trust the whole pregnancy test thing because that whole scene made absolutely no sense. And as Judge Judy says, if it don't make sense, it's probably not true. Fast forward to later, it's time to get down to Paul's business and look through these police records and figure out if Paul is a psycho murderer or not. Paul did the smartest thing that I've seen him do in the history of him being on this stupid show. Is he hired a translator so that there will be absolutely no miscommunication in what's going on between what he tells her parents and what he tells Karine and what they say to him. And I was like, yes, Paul, you finally did something smart. That was a good move. Great idea. I'm so proud that he had the brains enough to hire a translator for this because this is a serious thing. This is her dad looking through his police records and trying to figure out, are you going to knife my daughter in the night or are you going to be a good husband to her? The translator starts going through Paul's police record and starts talking about the restraining order and his arrests and him getting put in jail for violating the restraining order, the possible arson, all that. So she explains it all. The parents are looking just pain. I can just see the pain in their face. They are just horrified at first because all this stuff seemed bad. It was like bad on top of bad on top of bad. And so they start asking Paul questions. Paul's trying to briefly explain what happened. Basically just saying that, you know, him and the girlfriend had a tumultuous relationship. They both had restraining orders on each other. Paul texted her to try to make amends, and that was violating the restraining order. He got locked up for that as well. And then he says that the parents can ask any questions if they like. The parents immediately ask, okay, what? Like, explain it one more time because I feel like Paul did leave a lot of holes in the story. I feel like Paul was trying to give them the gist of what happened and was hoping that they would be just cool with it and wouldn't ask him any questions, but I needed further explanation too, so I was so happy when Mama was like, can you explain to me again what happened with the girlfriend? And then Paul gave them another like kind of sort of generic answer. I don't really feel like he explained it thoroughly. I feel like he gave them the very blanket statements, like super just an overview of his arrest and what happened with the girlfriend. He did not go in depth at all, and I just think that Paul is leaving out big chunks of this story because he doesn't want them to know how crazy he really is. I mean, Paul is, I think he's a sweet, nice guy, but I think when pushed, he can really go psycho. And I think that he's trying to put all that behind him, but at the same time, these people need to know what kind of man they're giving their daughter to a marriage. But apparently, whatever Paul told them, that halfway explanation was good enough because they know that as soon as Karine gets to America, that her and Paul could potentially be sending money home. And so they're probably like still a little bit shaky, but they eventually give their consent and say that she can marry Paul. They ask Karine what she thinks about all this. Karine says that, you know, even though her and Paul have had arguments and fought and all this stuff, that he's never once put his hands on her. He's never done anything to make her feel scared of him. And so I think the parents believe her. And I don't think Paul has ever done anything to Karine except for running off into the forest and letting her get robbed by a man with a machete. He really hasn't done anything to hurt Karine yet. And I think that that's good enough for right now. So they're going to let them get married, and, you know, the baby craziness will probably push Paul over the edge, but we'll just cross that bridge when we get there. But that was pretty much it for Paul and Karine. So let's move on to the next couple. Next is Darcy and Jessi. And I said last week that I was going to give them one more week before I was just going to breeze through their segments. And they're really starting to wear me down. I'm getting weary on their whole storyline because I just think it's silly. But anyway, they did have some pretty decent craziness going on, so I will give them let's give them 3 minutes. So Darcy and Jessi are in New York still. This is the next day. They're walking through the park, and there's this Asian man playing this, I don't know what that instrument was. It was like a violin, but not with the body of a violin. It was just like the stick of a violin with strings, and he played it with a bow. I have no idea what that's called. Somebody help me in the comments. But he was playing, and it was just a lovely little song, and Darcy in her delusional brain heard the wedding march and said, oh my God, it's like we're getting married. Girl, that was not the wedding march. Like, what song was she hearing? I listened, I backed it up and listened closely. That was not the wedding march. It's something wrong with Darcy. Like, Darcy is a little off. Darcy is just a little bit off and delusional, and Darcy, that was not the wedding march, girl. Stop trying to make this man want to marry you. You ain't even got an engagement ring. You don't have nothing but an appreciation ring. You still trying to push marriage on this man who don't want you. It's Darcy's birthday, and they show them waking up in bed. Well, they didn't just wake up. They got up, got ready, and they got back in the bed for this little scene for the producers, because Darcy's face was fully beat. She had a smoky eye. I'm like, girl, you gonna get them white sheets all brown and dusty. I cannot get in my bed with makeup on my face. Like, who gets into the bed and lays down and puts their face on their pillow with a full, like, I can't. Like, I have to have a clean face before I lay down. Like, that's just a rule. They're in bed together, and Darcy wrote her this card, and she cried, and they kissed, and then he carried her to the bathroom to do God knows what. Honestly, I don't even know how much of my 3 minutes is left. Darcy's daughters are coming to New York that day to meet Jessi. They're going to have a little family day to try to test the waters and see if Jessi likes her kids and if they like him, and if he could potentially, in the way future, as Jessi puts it, way future, be their stepdad. I think the girl's name was Karuchi and Janae Aiko. I don't remember their names. We're just going to call them Karuchi and Janae Aiko. That's all I remember. Karuchi and Janae Aiko get to New York from Connecticut, and they rode in a car, which this whole New York thing is weird to me, because Darcy said that her daughters were 11 and 12. Did they look like 11? Kids are aging at warp speed nowadays, because when I was 11, I did not look like that. Those girls were cute. They look young, but they have very, like, adult looks to them. And I don't know if it's just because of kids are getting into makeup younger now, and their fashion sense is much better than how it was when we were kids, because we looked a hot mess at 11. I know my hair was, I don't know what, didn't have no makeup, and clothes was who knows well. They looked at least 16 and 15 to me, not 11 and 12, and they were riding a car from Connecticut on their own. That just seems, I'm like, who sends their 11-year-olds in a car just loose with no, like, who's with them? I didn't see an auntie, a grandma, an adult, chaperone, nothing. But they pulled up at New York, and Jessi's waiting in the wings, looking nervous, and Darcy's being fake overly excited to see them, like she's a real mom or something. They meet Jessi, and Jessi was very nice to them. You know, he promised Darcy he'd be on his best behavior. He wouldn't be condescending and an a-hole in front of her kids, which is nice of him. It was awkward. You know, he seemed like he really didn't know what to say, and so they go off and get on the boat, the little boat ride, and Darcy's talking about, oh, family's everything and family first. And girl, please, you don't, child, when do you be with your kids? Talking about family first. Anyway, I digress. I feel like Jessi is cool with meeting her kids and everything, but he really just, he's like, I don't want them to get attached to me. You know what? I hate to say it, but Jessi has been speaking so much truth the last 2 weeks. I'm kind of mad because I still don't like him, but he has a point. He really doesn't want the daughters to get too attached to him, because honestly, he doesn't know how long he's going to be in their life, and it's silly for him to try to be a stepdad to them immediately on their first time meeting when he doesn't even know if he's going to be with their mama past the end of this show. He loves meeting them, and he thinks they're great, but he just wants to keep them at arm's distance, and I agree with that. I don't think that you should rush into it too fast, because you might not be in these, he's not going to be in their lives, but you know, we have to talk optimistically. He doesn't know if he's going to be in their lives for good. Him and Darcy's relationship is still kind of rocky, and he just don't know. So he don't want to get attached to these little girls that are closer in age to him than he is to his girlfriend, but I digress, without, you know, knowing for sure that this is going to be a forever thing. They interview the daughters, and they ask them what they think about it, and they think Jessi's all fine and dandy. They don't, you know, but he not their daddy, so they like whatever, you know. She thinks that her mom should slow down. One of the daughters even admitted that her mom has always been in relationships or likes being in relationships. So Darcy to me seems like one of those hopeless romantics, but not like in the cute sweet way, like in the psycho, I will stab you, I will stalk you, and I will follow you around. If you don't love me, I will kill myself type of way. Like, I feel like Darcy's one of those kind of hopeless romantics. And I feel like her daughters are worried that she's going to just rush into it too fast when she needs to slow it down. Which, to me, why are the kids always the smartest people in the room on this show? Her kids have a point. Jessi has a point. Darcy's delusional and crazy. This relationship won't work. That was a cute little family moment they had, but it's not going to last. That's enough for them. I went way past my 3 minutes. So let's move on to our new couples. Let's start out first with Tariq and Hazel. So Tariq has flown, child, I don't know what kind of airline Tariq is on, but he is still flying. He said he had 26 connections and an 82-hour travel time total. Tariq gets to Bangkok, and somehow out of the 26 connections that he had to make, the flight lost one of them, which makes sense. If you have that many connections to make, something's gonna go wrong. Like, I would just know for sure when I get to my destination that my luggage is gonna be missing, because 5 connections is so much bouncing around of moving luggage from plane to plane. I just know for sure something's gonna go wrong. So he had way too many connections and way too long of a travel time. I just knew something was not gonna go right, and sure enough, it didn't. He got stuck in Bangkok for like 11 hours. He had to sleep in the airport. It was just a hot mess, child. I would be over it. I would be so done. I already told y'all I can't do more than 2 connections. If it's more than 2, that is Jesus telling me I don't need to go, and I don't. I listen to the Lord when he tells me don't do something. Tariq is really upset that he's going to be stuck there, and it's prolonging his time to meet his future wife, Hazel. And then while Tariq is at the airport trying to figure stuff out, we get to actually meet Hazel. So it flashes back 24 hours, and we get to meet Hazel, and Hazel is a really cute girl. Hazel lives in Manila, Philippines. I said Thailand last week, and that was incorrect. I apologize. Hazel is from the Philippines. I thought she was from Thailand. She's from the Philippines. My bad, you guys. I just wasn't paying attention. Maybe when I heard Thailand for the girlfriend, I thought Hazel was from Thailand too. But anyway, Hazel's from Manila, Philippines. And Hazel is a really cute girl. She's very small and petite, has super long hair, like YouTube video. I mean, her hair is like down to her kneecaps. She was real cute. You know, I can see why Tariq liked her, even though I still think Tariq has fetishized Asian women. He just wants an Asian woman that's good. That irritates me still, but Hazel is a cute girl. She basically just lets us know up front what she's doing. Her life in the Philippines is hard, honey. She works 10-hour days for very little money. She lives in this tiny little house or apartment. Her life is just rough. She has a child that lives with the father. I guess maybe she can't take care of the child because she just has no means of feeding it, clothing it. She doesn't make much money. Her house probably isn't suitable for keeping a child, so she had to give him up to the daddy. And she just wants a better life. She said she sought out an American man because she wanted to have a better life in America. And she wanted a man with money. And you know what? There is absolutely nothing wrong with that. She has told us up front why she's here and what she's doing and why she's sought out and found Tariq. And it's because she wants a better life. And I don't think there's anything wrong with her wanting a better life. My issue with it is I don't know if Tariq's really on board. Like, I feel like Tariq is just wanting... Actually, you know what? Tariq is fetishizing Asian women and just wanting a trophy wife, and Hazel wants a better life in America. So you know what? They deserve each other. They're both with each other for superficial reasons. It's not about love. Tariq is just with her for her looks, and Hazel's just with him for his money. So actually, you know, whatever, you just have to be careful with the whole wanting a better life, because a lot of times those girls get American men thinking all Americans have money, and then you end up with an Annie and David type situation where you wanted a better life, and then you get to America and you're broke AF. We met Hazel, and then we flip back to Tariq, and Tariq finally gets his plane from the Bangkok to Manila. And so Tariq lands, and you know, he's worried that Hazel's not going to be there. He texted her and told her his plane ticket got lost. And when Hazel saw that text, she thought that Tariq maybe was visiting his ex-girlfriend in Bangkok because his ex-girlfriend was from Thailand. And she's worried that she can't trust him. So the girl who wants to marry the American man, have a better life, and have some money is worried that he lying to her. Meanwhile, he's making 26 connections and 82-hour travel time to come see you. Yeah, you totally can't trust this guy. Hazel's worried that she's getting flim-flammed or scammed. It was so stupid. I feel like it wasn't even a good argument to stand a leg on, but Hazel did. And honey, whatever. I feel like she just wanted to be irrational just for the sake of being irrational and just having something to be mad about. I don't know. Some women just want to be mad just to be mad. And I feel like that's what Hazel was doing, because it made no sense. Tariq lands, and the family, it was real cute. Her family was there. They had a little sign for him. I was like, okay, that's cute. Tariq was so happy when he saw that Hazel was real. He was just hugging her and looking her up and down and just like, I can't believe it's really you. And Hazel wasn't studying Tariq, to be honest. Hazel could have cared less. He tried to hug her and do one of them wrap up hug where we lean side to side and rub each other backs. And Hazel was like, okay, that's enough, you know, pat pat. She did a paw hug and back up off me. And Tariq was just like, oh my God, she's the most beautiful girl I've ever seen. Just drooling and hemming and hawing over her. And Hazel looked nervous and awkward and scared, to be honest. She was standing there stiff as a board. She was covering her face and ducking down like a child. She seems very immature, which I don't really know that she is. I don't know. She seemed shy. She said she was shy. She did seem shy. She seemed a lot younger than what she was. And I know I saw a lot of people saying that, is she 16? Is she actually 24, 25? I think that she might actually be that age. But as we saw in the previews for next week, she's from a very religious family. And then a lot of Asian girls are small and petite and have a very youthful look. They look young. So she might very well be the age she says she is, and she might just look a little young. I think that she is a grown woman. I think that she's just very naive, and she doesn't like Tariq at all. She was just talking to Tariq, like she said, for a better life. They are not on the same wavelength, which is what bothers me. I feel like if you're going to do the whole, oh, I just want to marry an American man for money so that, you know, I can have a better life, you have to play up that you love him a little bit. Like, you can't marry an American man for the money to get to America and be standoffish and be mean and be acting like, oh, he's chubby and, oh, he's not what I thought he was. Girl, that's your ticket to America. Okay, so I'm going to need you to have some more energy when you meet this man who's going to be giving you this better life and all this money. That was my only issue with it. It was like Hazel wanted to have this better life with this American, but yet she was like, I don't know him like that. Well, girl, you better get to know him like that. You trying to get to America? You trying to have a better life? Okay, well, I'm going to need you to be happy to see him. I'm going to need you to show a little bit more affection. I'm not saying that she had to tongue him down and have sex with him on the first night. They are still getting to know each other. But I feel like she doesn't like him at all. Like, even the text conversations that they had was not even enough for her to be like, oh, I like this man. He seems really sweet and nice. I feel like she has no affection toward him at all. He is simply a dollar sign to her. And that to me, I'm like, oh, I'm going to need you to have a little bit of affection toward him. Like, something, girl. Like, do a little something. Like, you got to keep the man on the hook. And, I mean, Tariq was acting real lame and thirsty and just, oh, he was worrisome in that hotel room or that condo that they got. And Hazel just thought that was a palace she was in. So she already knew this man had money and she was getting a little taste of what her life's going to be like when she gets to America. Tariq was really acting super thirsty, but he was being sweet still. I feel like Tariq is just a goofy, like, just lame dude, honestly. I don't think he has any game at all. I don't really like his personality. I was watching the TV and I was irritated and annoyed. He got on my nerves and he was getting on Hazel's nerves too. But he was trying to accommodate for her and make her feel comfortable. He said he would sleep on the couch and let her have the bed. But she was trying to be nice and say, okay, but she built the, you know, the pillow barrier, which is totally fine. Hazel says she's not ready to have sex with Tariq, and that's fine, girl. You know, I don't have a problem with her wanting to wait to get to know him or marry him or whatever she wants to do. That's your body, girl. And if you want to make that man wait, you make that man wait and don't feel shame about it. But at the same time, I don't feel like she's showing any other affection toward him. I'm not saying she got to be all up on him and doing anything like that, but I just didn't see any type of attraction, any type of love. I feel like this is strictly a business transaction for Hazel. There's absolutely no love. And Tariq, this is just an Asian woman fetish and he thinks she's gorgeous. I don't think that it's real love either. And I don't know what these two are going to do with each other. I don't know how this is going to work out, but it seems like it's already a mess and I'm here to watch it. Let's move on to the next couple. So next is Michael and Angela. So we saw last week that Angela has landed in Nigeria and she is walking around the airport looking scared and nervous because everybody's staring at her because she's the only bleached blonde hair white woman that these people have seen in Nigeria and who knows when. Michael said last week that if Angela doesn't look like how she looked in those pictures, that, you know, he's going to be a little disappointed. He's going to have to take a deep breath, but, you know, he still wants to be a businessman in America like Donald Trump, and so he's going to bite that bullet and do what he needs to do. Finally, Angela wanders her way out of the terminal and sees Michael standing there. Honey, she is so excited she cannot contain herself nor her boobs because they were all going every which way. Angela went this way, her boobs went that way. They were both running toward Michael. I don't know what kind of bra she had on. She clearly had on a bra because her shirt had cutouts in the back and we could see the 57 straps through the cutouts in the shirt. So I know she had a bra on, but I think she needs to throw that one away and start over. Somebody call Molly and Libby Ray and get Angela a new bra because That one's not working anymore. She's so excited to see Michael. She runs and hugs and kisses him. Michael's a little startled at first, but he quickly jumps out of it because he remembers he wants to be a businessman in America. So he puts on his happy face. He hugs Angela. They kiss. There was some applause from the crowd. Also some horrified faces in the background. But nonetheless, it was a real cute reunion. I was a little grossed out, you know, but Angela was so excited to see this man. She's just rubbing all on him and kissing all on him. And Angela is very aggressive and thirsty, and I know women hit their sexual peak in like their 40s and 50s, and I think Angela is at the top of Mount Everest right now when it comes to her sexual peak. She is ready to go. I mean, she is aggressive and she is not holding back, and she is not sugarcoating it. She letting you know that she wants the D. She not hiding it. She don't care if you know, if Michael know, if whoever know. She want that D and she gonna get it. Finally, you know, start walking out to his car, and Angela is just rubbing all on him and talking loud and laughing and talking crazy. You know how we do in the South. You know, we loud and we do stuff like that. But apparently Nigerians are not really like that, because Michael was very embarrassed at her loud personality. He was like, I think I'm gonna be able to cope with her. I don't know. I feel like Michael gonna be tired after like 48 hours with Angela. He's gonna be worn out between her personality, her aggression in the bed, her aggression at just life. I feel like he's gonna be wore out after 48 hours with her. I don't know how he's gonna survive 2 weeks. They get back to the hotel, and you know, they're unpacking. Angela's showing him all the little Trump stuff she got him, and the t-shirt, the hat, and he put the hat on, taking pictures, bobblehead and all that. You know, I know a lot of people's mad, but hey, the dude had a picture of Donald Trump on his nightstand. So him wearing a Make America Great Again hat and t-shirt and having a Donald Trump bobblehead is really not a far reach. I'm really not even shocked by it. He already said Donald Trump is his role model. He looks up to him. He likes him. So, you know, the fact that he doesn't understand that Donald Trump don't even want people that look like him in his country is beyond me. But more power to you, my brother. Like I said, whatever you need to do to get over here and make this money and be a businessman, go ahead, whatever. Sit down on the bed and they're talking, and Angela's just telling him the only problem she has is that he's still wearing clothes, and she grabbing his crotch, and it was disgusting. It was so nasty. I can't unsee her grabbing him. I just can't unsee it. And, you know, Michael's like, whoa, stop. Because, you know, all the producers are in the room, the cameraman, everybody's still there. So Michael's trying to calm her down. She's like, look, I done flown all these thousands of miles for this D. You gonna give me this? She turned into Danielle. You're gonna give me my sex tonight. Producers come back the next morning, and Angela and Michael are in the bed. They interview Angela outside in the hall, and she says that the first night with Michael was amazing. I mean, they did it 2-3 times, you know. And I said, 2-3 times? 2-3 times? Like, that's not something that you can just estimate. Like, did y'all do it 2 times or did y'all do it 3 times? Actually, I don't want to know. I'm gonna stop there. Michael said that Angela has so much energy. I guess he thought because she was 52, she was gonna be, you know, tired and wanted to lay down and go to sleep. Oh no. Oh no, he said she was agile. So that means tell me she was probably climbing up Michael. Oh my God, there's no telling what that boy had to see and give witness to that night with Angela. We're going to keep Michael lifted up in prayer, because I feel like Angela has an insatiable sexual appetite, and I feel like it's a good thing he's 30, because he might not even be able to keep up with her 2-3 times. They got to get ready to go meet Michael's mom. And of course they stayed in the hotel because, you know, Michael's mom is a very devout Christian, and she was worried about, you know, she said she want to unwind, be comfortable. I'm assuming that means walk around naked. Oh, why did I do that to myself? Oh, Jesus. Oh, I got to scrub my brain. Y'all. When they got to the hotel, of course, she wanted one bed, and they stayed there because they didn't want to stay with Michael's mom. Oh, I forgot to mention that when they got to the hotel, Angela was saying she was hoping that her cars worked. Why are these people going out of the country broke? Like, Rachel last week was out of the country looking for John and was saying she ain't had no money for a hotel or nowhere to stay or anything, a flight back home. Angela went all the way to Nigeria, and she didn't have any money. She was hoping her cards work. Hoping? You hear that? Like, you need to know that your cards are going to work, because she was like, I'd be embarrassed. Like, this is not the time to be testing out your cards when you're thousands of miles away from home. You can play those little games at home in Georgia. Like, that's cute. You know, oh, my car got declined. I just go into the house. You're in a totally other country. Like, we can't be playing those games. This car better work. Like, you need to know before you go. They're going to meet Michael's mom, and they get in the car, and Angela is trying to get ready. You know, she's like, well, how do you think I should do my makeup, baby? Like, how do you think I should look? What should I do? And Michael was like, you need to make yourself look younger and fresher, and, you know, do something soft and pretty, you know, because Angela has a very harsh face, and that's from all those years of smoking those cigarettes. That makes your skin leathery and dry, and she needs to stop. Michael says she needs to do something soft and young, and Angela cuts her eyes at him. I think Michael is thrown a little bit because, honestly, Angela doesn't look anything like those pictures that she sent him. We saw those pictures last week, and they were heavily filtered and altered. And she does not look like them at all. He said when she came out of the airport that she was much bigger than he thought she was going to be, you know, but he went with it because, you know, once again, he's trying to get to America. He had a straight up as-in moment. He had a she's big a little bit, and I was surprised by how big she was. He did not know that she was going to be that big and that old, and he was shook. You know, but he's going to put up with it because, once again, this is his ticket to being a businessman in America. So he's going to bite this bullet, and they're going to meet Mama next week. That's it for them. Let's move on to the next couple. Next is Ricky and Melissa. So we pick up right where we left off last week with Ricky still sitting in this restaurant. He has been waiting upwards of 3 hours, maybe more. She was supposed to be there at 7, and it is literally after 10 p.m. and Melissa has not shown up. She keeps sending him these little breadcrumbs of text messages saying, I'm in the cab, I'm on my way. And then we get the text that we've all been waiting for. Melissa is here. So I'm looking like, is she here? I didn't know what to expect. I thought maybe Melissa was just leading him on. I thought she was lying, honestly. I didn't think she was going to show up. I didn't think anybody was going to come. And so finally, Melissa walks up, and Melissa is Melissa. Melissa was the girl in those pictures, you know, cantaloupe boobs and all. She did look slightly different, and I'll talk about her in a second. But she shows up, and Ricky just cannot believe it that she came and that she's real. And he doesn't even know what to say. He didn't even know how to talk. He was so nervous and scared. So she sits down, and she's like awkwardly smiling and like, okay, let's get this over with. And so, you know, her and Ricky, you know, he speaks to her in Spanish. His Spanish was not good, but he was trying. He did more than Paul has ever done. So I'll give him that. You know, they're having an awkward time. He gives her those flowers, and he's trying to crack jokes. And Melissa's just sitting there like, dude, how long I got to sit here? They didn't eat. I didn't see nobody ordered food. You know, what kind of date was that? Somebody shows up 3 hours late, stares at you like they don't want to give you the time of day. You try to crack a few jokes. She laughs awkwardly. I couldn't even tell you what they talked about. I don't know. He was saying that he wanted to go on maybe another date the next day, and she was asking, she said she liked to dance. He said he didn't know how to dance. She was shocked by that and really just irritated and annoyed. Like, this dude is so lame. Why am I here? She said something about going horseback riding. Ricky said he would go, but he felt sorry for the horse. It was awkward. It was a terrible date. I would have only stayed there so I could backhand her for making me wait 3 hours for her to show up, and then act like she was too good to sit down and have dinner with me or to speak to me. Like, she acted like she was too good to be in his presence or something. It was just, oh God, it was hard to watch. They interviewed Melissa outside, and they asked her, where you been at, girl? And she said, oh, I had some other plans. I'm like, other plans. Right, okay. Ricky is just over the moon. He is so excited that Melissa is real and that she is who he says he is. Ooh, that was a Freudian slip that might actually be real. That he was who he said he is. We still don't know what Melissa's gender is, what she identifies as. Here's my thoughts on Melissa and the whole Ricky-Melissa situation. I think that Melissa is an escort. Some people might say hooker. I think she might not even be a hooker. I think she is an escort. I think she either, one, works for an escort service, or two, just has some type of escort ring that maybe her and some other people that she knows runs. She puts her pictures on Columbia Cupid with heavy filters and her good angles, because Melissa was actually not that pretty. If you guys pause the TV when she's talking and really look at her. Okay, she has on a lot of makeup. She has hair that's down and like done, and a body. If you take all that away, Melissa is regular at best. At best, she's average. She had kind of wide set eyes. a regular face to me. I feel like she really knows her angles and she really takes advantage of those filters. She looked much prettier in the face to me in the pictures than she did in person. I was not impressed, honestly. I didn't think she looked that good. I think that she is an escort, and I think she had several other dates. I think she dates men for money. I think she hooks men or catfishes men for money. I think that maybe possibly someone she knows uses her pictures to scam men, and then if the man decides to pop up, they might hit her up and be like, hey girl, I need you to go here and meet this dude because he's been sending me money and I've been using your pictures. Or they might already have something set up where she's like, yeah, you can use my pictures, make your money. And I honestly think that's what happened. I think the actual person that was texting Ricky is not that girl that was sitting across from him. I think that girl is a decoy. I think she is just the face of the operation, and I think that someone else is behind that phone, because there is absolutely no way there was no chemistry. She didn't like Ricky at all. Obviously when she said she was coming, they started sending short text messages, one-word answers. I honestly think that the reason why Melissa was late was because she had other dates or other jobs to do or other men to have sex with. I honestly don't know, but there's absolutely no way that girl is the girl that Ricky has been talking to or the person that Ricky has been talking to. I think she's just the face of this whole operation and just showed up just to keep him on the hook so that he would keep sending her money. I don't think we're ever going to see that girl again. Like, I honestly don't think we're ever going to see her again. But she is actually a real person. So, you know, I had to eat crow on that. She is real. She does exist. Ricky has not been talking to that person. He has been talking to someone else. I don't think Ricky was talking to her. So, and her name might not even be Melissa, honestly. I don't even know if that's her real name. That might be her stage name that she uses for her work. Ricky is holding out hope, and he thinks he's about to go on another date with this girl the next day. They're not going on another date. I hope y'all enjoyed meeting Melissa, because we will never see her again. Let's move on to the next couple. Alright, last but not least is Rachel and John. So Rachel and John have already met and done their vomit kiss at the train station. And now they're headed home to Western Supermarket Suite, wherever John lives. It's quite a journey, so they had to wander through the streets of London for a little while. John was dragging that suitcase and just knocking it into stuff and just being a buffoon. And they get in the car and they have to drive 3 hours to John's hometown Western Supermarket Suite. You know, my thing is, I'm still not over the whole leaving her at the airport, y'all. I'm still not over it. So somebody, I can't remember their name, but God bless you, on Twitter said that their wife is actually in London right now, and said that it's literally a 30-minute ride or train ride from Paddington Bear to Heathrow Airport. And my thing is, John literally drove 3 whole hours from Western Supermarket Suite to Paddington Bear, and then couldn't make the 30-minute train ride from Paddington Bear to Heathrow to get Rachel. Like, you already went 3 hours. Like, what's another 30 minutes? Like, what was the point of making her get on a train and ride just 30 minutes is nothing. That is absolutely no time when you've already traveled 3 hours. Like, an extra 30-minute train ride to go be at the airport when she gets there. I still don't understand why he didn't just ride the train to go get Rachel. I don't get it. Like, you went all that way and then they're going to make her meet you at the train station. You were there. That's it. 30 minutes. You were pretty much there. Anyway, so they get in the car and Rachel still has not slept. Lucy is starting to get fussy, and it's just a long day. You know, it's dark by the time they get to John and his mom's house, and Rachel just looks she just looks beat down. She just looks tired. Lucy's whining and crying because she's probably over it too, and I don't blame her. John's mom, they interviewed her, and she is just worried about this whole situation. She doesn't like the fact that John has jumped into this instant family. She said that John has been fickle about women in the past, and that it's just strange and out of his character for him to be wanting to do this. She called it mental, and it's just odd. It's not like him. And, you know, I think it's odd too, but I think John is odd. So, you know, whatever, Mom. You know, they seem like they like each other. He seems like he's happy being a dad to Lucy and being with Rachel. So sometimes your kids do weird things. You just got to let it go. You know, honestly, who knows? Whatever. The first night, and so, you know, they go upstairs and he shows Rachel the baby room that he made for Lucy, and she is very pleased, and she thinks it's real sweet that he put that whole room together for her. But one little problem is that the crib has no padding around it, and so Lucy's legs or arms could possibly get stuck through the side. And so Rachel and Lucy are sitting there as John is trying to weave a blanket or something through the holes. Lucy is not crying. Lucy is simply just doing that baby talk, kind of like screaming or like making noise. It really wasn't a cry, but John is already stressed out. I mean, his stress level is already on 22, and he's trying to get her to stop Lucy from crying. He is cussing up a storm, and there's nothing wrong with cussing, but I don't know. He just seemed really agitated to me. And then Rachel tries to show John the ropes and say, here, take the baby, feed her. Lucy wasn't having it. Lucy was hollering and crying. She didn't want that bottle. She didn't want him. She just wanted her life to go back to normal. And I don't blame you, girl. So after he feeds baby Lucy, it's time to burp her. He's patting her on the back, and then he asks, is he supposed to squeeze her? John knows absolutely nothing about babies, how they work, what's going on with a baby. I think John knows nothing about life too much. He just is confused. He's asking Rachel, does she have everything she needs? And, you know, he's asking, does she have the baby's soap, the baby's toothpaste? And Rachel's like, she doesn't have any teeth. And John literally looked shocked. I think John thinks that, like, when Rachel said the baby doesn't have any teeth, I think he thought that that was a disorder. Like, that was not normal. Like, that baby should have teeth and that Lucy doesn't have any. Because he stared at her for like a good 30 seconds. He was shook that the baby didn't have teeth nor toothpaste. And I was like, sir, you just brushed your teeth with no toothpaste last week, but you think a baby with no teeth needs toothpaste? His brain is all jumbled up and scrambled up. He don't know what's going on. And so finally, you know, they put baby Lucy down to lay down, you know, to go to bed, and they get in the bed and they're talking about, you know, Rachel's talking about her body insecurities and how the last time she had sex, she got pregnant. Yeah, Rachel, like anybody is believing that you were talking to John and got pregnant by somebody. So you mean to tell me we're supposed to believe that all this time you were talking to John online, you weren't having sex with somebody else? Save that, Rachel. Rachel claims, you know, that she's all insecure about her body, and John is nervous too, you can tell, and he was saying it's either going to be great or it's going to be a disaster. I honestly don't know what it's going to be like. And so the one thing that irritates me about Rachel is she is so frumpy. And I get that she's a mom, and I get that she just traveled thousands of miles and that she's probably tired. But she has on like this big white t-shirt, and her hair's not even combed. Her face don't look like it's been washed. She just looks like a mess. And I'm like, girl, this is the first time you're meeting your man after a year, and this is what you choose to come to bed looking like. They look like an old married couple. I'm like, I get that you don't want to give false expectations and you want to be comfortable. And ladies, wear what you want to wear to bed. But first impressions do matter. If this is the first time I've met my man and this is the first time we're sharing a bed together, I don't care how many kids I've had. I don't care what my body looks like that day. I'm going to do my hair. I'm going to put on something cute or slash sexy to get in the bed. And I'm going to like do it up for him. Like, men really honestly don't care what your body looks like. Men don't care that you have a belly, that you have back fat, that you have rolls. Men really only care about a couple things. And for the sake of keeping my channel as PG as I can, I'm not even going to say what those two things are. But ladies, I think you know what I'm talking about. They only care about two things. They really only care about how it feels and how confident you are, okay? So it's all about confidence. I feel like Rachel's doing that whole, oh, I'm a mom and I have my post-baby body and things have been rearranged. Girl, he don't care. He's trying to get at you. So all you have to do is be confident. Girl, put your lingerie on. Put your cat suit on. Comb your hair. Girl, fill in your eyebrows or something. Put a little lipstick on, something. I don't care that you're a mom. Like, being a mom is no excuse to be frumpy and to be dowdy and to not look good. I don't care what size you are. I don't care if you had a baby 8 months ago, a year ago, 2 years ago, if you had 5 kids or 1 baby. You are still sexy and that man still wants you. It's all about the confidence that you bring to the bedroom. It does not matter what your body looks like. John don't care. John didn't even know that the baby didn't have teeth. That man don't care what you look like. He's trying to get in this bed. So girl, I'm going to need you to take off that big ugly white shirt. I'm going to need you to run a brush through that hair. I'm going to need you to put some mascara on, some lipstick, and put on some cute pajamas or lingerie or whatever you feel comfortable in most. And be confident that this man has waited a whole year to be with you. This man has waited a year to be with you. And he honestly, I mean, he said that, yeah, she doesn't look like the girls he's used to dating. And honestly, I get the whole men are visual and they want a woman to look good. But I have seen many a man who talk all that game, talking about they want a woman to be fine and her body to be this and that. And then I look at their wives. So it's not all about looking like a Victoria's Secret model. It's about having that Victoria's Secret model level of confidence and what you bring to that bedroom besides your body. What kind of skills can you do? What kind of tricks can you teach him? Girl, what you gonna do to him? Okay, don't worry about that baby. We'll hear the baby if it cries, but right now we about to get down to business, and I'm gonna need you to not look like a prairie mom when he comes to the bedroom. She looked a mess, and that irritated me that whole episode. She looked, and I know she had been traveling hours. I get it, y'all. I know y'all about to jump in the comments and tell me everything I don't know about being a mom and having your body messed up and traveling thousands of miles and being tired. I get it. But still, you have waited over a year to meet this man. You get all the way there and you decide to look like that. You can't put on for a little trip. I get when y'all get home and y'all, you know, when y'all are actually together, it's not going to be like that all the time. And you don't want to give him a false sense of what it's going to be like. But the first impression, I'm going to put my best foot forward, baby. I'm going to just tell you that right now. I'm not going to show up after a year of you waiting to meet me looking a mess. I'm about to put on a show. The baby starts crying and John jumps up to go see her because I think he was just nervous. I think, honestly, Rachel looked a mess and he was nervous. And I don't think that it's going to happen that night anyway. It left it hanging, but I don't think it's gonna happen that night. I think she needed a night to sleep, and then maybe tomorrow night she'll look a little better. Let's hope. God help Rachel and baby Lucy. That's it for them, and that's it for this recap. Thank you guys so much for sticking it out with me once again this week. Next week's episode looks like it's gonna be lit. Like, it looks like it's gonna be so good. I can't wait till next week, and I can't wait to recap it with you. Thanks for watching again. If you'd like to follow me on Twitter at NICHI_P_tweets for my live tweets during the show while it airs in real time. Thank you guys so much for watching once again. I love you guys. Hit the subscribe button if you like my videos. If you watch me every week anyway, go ahead and subscribe. If you like anything I said in this video and you agree with it, leave me a comment, leave me a thumbs up. Thank you guys so much for watching. So one more thing before I go, one opportunity that you have to really help a sister out. I started a GoFundMe page because, guys, I desperately need a new camera. My camera sucks. It's terrible. You guys saw last week in the video when it lost focus for several minutes. It does that. It does whatever it wants to do. It doesn't autofocus. It turns off and on at will. It changes the settings on its own. It's demon possessed. It's old. And guys, I just really need a new one because I really want to put out quality level content for these videos. I want to turn this into a business potentially, and to do that I have to have quality content, quality videos to do that. That's going to bring in more viewers, that's going to bring in more subscribers, which allows me to do more things for you guys as I build my income and build my brand. So I thank you so much for watching. If you are one of my main subscribers that watch me every week, I literally will put a link to my GoFundMe page, let's say right here, and you can literally donate $1. If you don't have it, that's fine. I still love you. Thank you so much for watching me every week. If you don't have it, but if you do have $1, literally my goal is $600 because I want to get a Canon Rebel SL2, and it costs $600. And if each one of you who watches my videos donates $1, I will hit my goal that easily, and I'll have a better camera to do these videos for you. It'll take me less time. Editing will be a breeze. Guys, I really need this. I'm a grad student. You know that stipend money that the department gives you is nothing. I mean, it's just enough to live on, and that's it. So if you guys can help me out, I really would appreciate it. So click that link and donate whatever you have in your heart to give. Even if it's 50 cents, I will take it. If everybody donates 50 cents, I can still hit my goal. If you guys who subscribe to me every week donate $1, I would hit my goal. So I really appreciate it. If you can't give anything, you just don't have it, that's totally fine. I still love you. Keep watching, keep commenting, keep liking. We're still family, okay? Thank you guys so much, and I'll catch you guys in the recap next week. Bye! That's just disrespectful. Y'all see this? Disrespectful. 30 minutes is nothing. The disrespect. Do you see the disrespect? Alright guys, so we're gonna get this hair wrapped together. She gonna come together eventually. She gonna get her life so we can finish this recap. Get your life, girl. Get it together, honey. Now you fall out again, I'm just gonna keep on going without you. I'm gonna leave you behind. Okay. Get it together. Let's do this. Let's get this recap done. Alright. Okay, deal. Alright, deal.